I think I'm going to lose a lot of subscribers tonight on my one take, one shot Monday Night Raw review because I got a very unpopular opinion, but it's my gut reaction, and I got to tell you, immediately following Raw, no cuts, no edits, let's go. My unpopular opinion? Well, Oba Femi. Okay, so I love Oba Femi. You can go on my channel, you can see a lot of videos praising how much I love Oba Femi. Heck, I didn't even mind the squash matches with Brock Lesnar. But what I do mind is that Oba Femi came out tonight and said a whole lot of nothing. All night long, I'm waiting for him to confront Roman Reigns, right? Because he won King of the Ring. And King of the Ring guaranteed him a title shot at SummerSlam, right? So I'm like, is he gonna pick CM Punk? Is he gonna pick Roman Reigns? He picks Brock Lesnar. All right? I mean, whatever, fine. I got over it, okay? He picks Brock Lesnar, and he said, I can get a title anytime I want, basically, so I'm not giving up my title shot, but I am postponing it. So logically speaking, I figured after he vanquished the Beast Incarnate, he would instantly go after Roman Reigns. Now, I get it. I love that LA Knight, is in a program. But we are talking kayfabe, storylines. We're not talking Unreal Season 4, the writer room or anything. We're talking kayfabe. In kayfabe, the logical thing for Oba Femi to do is now go after a title. He goes to the ring, and all he says is, I respect Brock Lesnar. Thank you, Brock Lesnar. I am now the new Brock Lesnar. I am the mountain that nobody can climb. I cannot be conquered, all these things. And it's like, fine, great. Everything he said, I loved. Until he stopped talking. Because I'm like, dude, say something. Who are you going after? He didn't say anything. And then he walks down the aisle and he gets into a confrontation with Bron Breakker. Go on my channel. I have said over and over again that they have wasted and squandered Bron Breakker. I love Bron Breakker, but they have done an amazing job of making that guy look like a chump. Okay? I love Bron Breakker. I love Bron Breakker. I love Bron Breakker. People won't hear that, though. They're going to be like, what do you got against Bron Breakker? But the thing about this is, ever since he lost on January 5th or 6th of this year, they have done nothing with this dude. Bron Breakker was not even on SummerSlam. Not even on SummerSlam. And so I'm supposed to feel like this dude is going to be a threat to Oba Femi. For one, Oba Femi should be challenging for a championship. But for two, like, why would I think that they're going to suddenly let Bron Breakker beat Oba Femi? The dude is taking orders from Austin Theory. Guess what Austin Theory did tonight? He ran from Tozawa. Bron Breakker is taking orders from the guy who Tozawa is owning. Okay, I lied. I'm adding this to my one take, one shot. I apologize. But I don't think I expounded upon something when I was talking about this. Like, I'm definitely 100% okay with eventually getting back to Bron Breakker and Oba Femi, but we need to rebuild Bron Breakker. Honestly, he needs to just be rebuilt. Like 6 months of domination. He's been booked into oblivion, so now we got to book him back to the mountaintop. That's what I'm trying to say. So I'm not saying fire Braun and he's hopeless, but we got to rebuild the guy. Don't get me wrong. Last year, if you told me Bron Breakker versus Oba Femi, I would have been hyped as all get out. But the thing is, when you job somebody out left and right and give them crappy stories and tell me over and over again and show me over and over again that they're nothing, Bron Breakker has been the fourth most important person in a faction that was supposed to get him over. He wasn't on SummerSlam. So for him to go up against Oba Femi tonight, it makes no sense. Oba should be going for a title right this second. And if you're going to be like, oh, but LA Knight's going for the title, then write it different. They can write these shows before the shows air. And even if that's the case, fine, let LA Knight go for the title. But so can Oba Femi. You can have two people actually gunning for the champion, just like they did with Liv Morgan on this same exact show with Becky Lynch and Stephanie Fakir. Both of them are gunning for the title. So why can't LA Knight, and Oba Femi both gun for the title? Even though it should just be Oba and Roman right now. Like, I don't need to wait till WrestleMania to crown Oba Femi. How about we just let Oba Femi have a victory, a strong showing, and then he can defend his title at WrestleMania? Like, that's fine. Hulk Hogan did not win his title at WrestleMania. We do realize that, right? Like, he didn't have to wait all the way to WrestleMania. Roman Reigns didn't win his first title at WrestleMania. You don't have to wait to WrestleMania to win your first title. Like, I don't know when that happened, but we need to stop that. You can win any time you want, and when you are guaranteed a match because you won the King of the Ring, like, then cash in, or at least say something. Or go after CM Punk. Like, just go after CM Punk. If you want Roman Femi at Mania, then go after CM Punk. Do something. Like, and I wish I could believe in Bron Breakker. But what kind of booking has they ever done to make me believe in Bron Breakker? It's like, it's not there. It's not there. Now, I did feel some of that magic, that aura that was Bron Breakker from like a year ago. I saw glimpses of it. He was all mad and stuff. He was all mad and he just kept looking. He kept looking down at where Oba Femi was, in the ring, and he's facing Joe Hendry. But even then, as Braun should just be like all like just rebuilding his aura. Even he does a spear to Joe Hendry, and Joe Hendry just jumps over it and he hits, and Bron Breakker hits the stairs. It's like, even when we're trying to make him look strong, he still kind of looks stupid. And that sucks because, God, I love Bron Breakker. But, like, they've done nothing to make me feel that they're going to put any faith in him, right? And Oba Femi should be doing something else based on kayfabe. It's all kayfabe. Oba should be challenging for this title. But, thankfully, even if Oba does it, you can, boys and girls. You see, if you haven't unsubscribed from this channel, you can win this title on my shoulder right now. All you got to do is comment below and be a subscriber, and you can win it. It's not a toy. It's a replica, and it can be yours. No joke. I'll ship it anywhere in the world. Tibet, Belize, Ohio, wherever you want, I'll ship it. All right. So, overall, this was a pretty decent Raw. It was a decent Raw. Just because I didn't like one thing doesn't mean the whole show sucks. And I still love Oba Femi. And honestly, I still love Bron Breakker. But Bron Breakker, they have done the Finn Balor treatment to him for me, where they have just jobbed him out so much that I no longer believe, even though I'm still a fan. It just hurts. It hurts because I no longer believe in the guy, because I think Bron Breakker's amazing. I really do think Bron Breakker is amazing. But, so Roman Reigns, he comes out and he shows respect to Seth Rollins. He doesn't say, "I respect you," but he's like, "I can only acknowledge so much, but if you want to acknowledge Seth," he holds out the microphone and everyone's like, "Whoa, whoa." This was Seth Rollins' hometown, actually, and Roman just beat him. Then Roman says, "Yeah, I said I was going to do all these things. People said I couldn't win without the bloodline, and I did. What is everyone going to say now? Where are the haters? And that's when I was thinking we were going to get Oba Femi, right? But then we got LA Knight, and I'm happy LA Knight's getting back in the main event scene. But if LA Knight fights Roman at Money in the Bank, well, I guess that means another year of LA Knight not getting Money in the Bank. And then I think if he doesn't win Money in the Bank this year, I think LA Knight is going to he's going to be the forever mid-card guy who should have, could have, would have, but never won the championship. Anyways, LA Knight comes out, and we have a really good promo between Roman and LA Knight. LA Knight does say, "Hey, you know what? Congratulations for winning without help. I eat my words, but you're still a fraud." And then he lays into Roman, and then Roman just destroyed LA Knight. He destroyed LA Knight. He was like, "You say I'm a fraud. You're the fraud. You say you're a megastar with a Walmart watch. This is a watch. And so that was really funny. But LA Knight had some comebacks too. It was a good back and forth. I do recommend watching it, but yes, I felt Roman probably made LA Knight look more like a chump than the other way around because, well, Roman Reigns is a heel right now that is doing babyface things like showing up for the summer, and defending his title without help. Like, the bloodline doesn't even come out anymore with him. So, like, yeah, LA Knight, he does walk away. I think he walked away on Roman Reigns, but yes. Or did Roman walk away? I'm not sure who. One of them walked away. They didn't have fisticuffs, and they probably should have, but they didn't. They ended the segment, but it was a very good back and forth, and it does look like that's the program. Roman did make it seem like, back of the line, buddy. I'm not gonna waste my time with you. But later in the show, Roman goes to the Usos and Jacob, and he's like, you guys lost. You lost a 6-man. You're a family. You have the advantage right off the bat, and you still lost a 6-man. And where's Solo Sikoa? Solo should be getting me a cup of coffee. So in the ring, Roman was a babyface, but in the backstage segment, total heel, making fun of Solo Sikoa, saying he's a coffee boy, berating the Usos because they can't get the win, telling Jacob Fatu, like, I'm family. What's this I hear about this Royce Keys calling you family? He's not your family. Manipulating Jacob Fatu. It's like, this is heel Roman. Later, Royce Keys will go up to Jacob and be like, dude, what's going on? I'll put everything in the past. We just got to move on. And Jacob is like, no, you don't understand. You're not family. Bloodline's family. I've made my choice. And then they have themselves a street fight. We'll talk about that later. So now we go to our second segment of the night. It's Javon Evans versus Ethan Page. This was a really good match. I wish these two could feud. I really enjoyed their feud in NXT. Like, they have good chemistry with one another. And, like, I like some of the things that Ethan Page was countering on Javon Evans. And those kind of counters come with wrestling each other multiple times. So, like, if they had a juicy storyline, like, these matches would be pay-per-view worthy. But because there's no storyline and they're just random exhibition matches on Raw, they're forgettable. And it kind of sucks. Now, Javon does beat Ethan Page, which, I don't know. I feel like both of them shouldn't really be suffering losses. I wish there was other people, like jobbers, on the main roster that they could lose to, that they could beat. But Javon wins, and then Big Cass just comes out, destroys Javon Evans, and it's like, oh, okay. Unfortunately, Enzo Amore was not present. If you don't know who Big Cass is, he was a tag team with the realest guy in the room, Enzo Amore, and Big Cass is 7 feet tall, and you can't teach that. But yes, now, Big Cass had some personal demons. He overcame them. He had a stint in AEW, think in TNA also, and he is looking jacked. But it's like, he kind of has the same character right now of Baron Corbin. Later, Big Cass will talk to Jackie Redmond or Kathy Kelly, can't remember which one's which, and he says, everybody is soft, I hit rock bottom, 8 years I was gone, now I'm here, no offense, you're just in my way. I'm pretty confident that other than Baron Corbin saying I hit rock bottom, that was the exact promo that Baron Corbin did in a backstage segment. Wasn't personal, Carmelo Hayes, you were just in my way, I'm stacking bodies. So yes, same exact character, but on different brands. So I don't know, maybe Big Cass is going to take the belt off of Chad Gable in 2 weeks. Then we will also have Liv Morgan. She comes out. This is day 2 of Liv Morgan with 0 title defenses. And yeah, she comes out. She says, they're trying to make a storyline out of her not defending her title, being like, yeah, no woman ever came up against me, which I find hard to believe. So it's like, yeah, whatever. But anyways, we have Liv Morgan, Io Sky, Roxanne Perez. They're talking smack, but then Becky Lynch comes out. Becky Lynch, the best in the world, and that's not just me saying it, that's Sports Illustrated. And that'll probably be the last time I say that, actually, because babyface Becky Lynch just doesn't hit as hard as obnoxious Donald Trump, Becky Lynch, and that's not a view on my political stance. That's the character. That's who Becky Lynch was mimicking. If you didn't know, look at all the nicknames she gave. She was Twitter Donald Trump, basically. Unsubscribe. But anyways, Becky Lynch, she comes out and she one take, one shot. Becky Lynch comes out and she did cut a good babyface promo though. She cut a really good babyface promo saying, "I'm here to make sure you don't go another 100 days. You're not the best women's champion in your faction. You're not even the best women's champion that has slept with Dominic Mysterio." It's like, oh my God, I can't believe you said all that stuff. So good stuff there. And then, this actually, did this happen before or after the It happened after the Sol Ruca match. I forgot. So Sol Ruca fought Roxanne Perez, right? Sol Ruca fought Roxanne Perez. It ends in a DQ. Because Liv just attacks Sol Ruca, and then Sol Ruca just disappears. She just poof, gone, and that's when Becky comes out and says everything I just said. Then Liv Morgan is walking up the ramp, and Stephanie Vakir comes out. Stephanie Vakir then proceeds to beat up the entire 3 women of the Judgment Day, which is okay. But what I did like was that Becky then, she gets down and she goes face to face with Stephanie Vakir, and she's like, yeah, what are you doing here? Stay out of my way. And Stephanie's like, you stay out of my way. So now we have two challengers for the top women's title. Just like you could have LA Knight and Oba Femi being 2 challengers for the top men's title. But anyway, so we do, it looks like Liv Morgan does have people waiting in the wings, which is good. I think Liv Morgan is a very credible champion, but we actually have to make her and write stories for her. So at least we got something going on there. I wish they would have given her one of these opponents before SummerSlam, honestly, to give her title reign credibility. Then we already got Roman, Becky, Oba. What happened with after Oba and Bron Breakker did their stare down, it was a match against Joe Hendry. The match only went a minute. Joe jumped over Bron Breakker, making him look like a chump, right? But then Austin Theory's kind of getting in his face. And then Joe Hendry attacks Austin Theory. That distraction allows Bron Breakker to spear Joe Hendry, and he wins. So Bron Breakker needed distraction to beat Joe Hendry, and I'm supposed to believe he's gonna go beat Oba Femi. Okay. And then, now I will say this, Bron Breakker goes up to Paul Heyman, because Oba Femi actually thanked Paul Heyman earlier, said, "Tell Brock I said thank you." He goes up to Paul and he's like, "Did you see what I did?" And he's like, "Oba's trying to take my spot." And it's like, oh, that I do like this Bron Breakker. And then he's like, "Why would I know where Oba is?" He's like, "Isn't he your best friend?" And it's like, oh man, I was really hoping, if they would have actually maybe had a really banging knockdown drag out brawl backstage. Remember when Bronson Reed and Braun Strowman they had some crazy brawls? If Bron Breakker and Oba Femi would have done that tonight, I might have believed in Bron Breakker, but they didn't. That was it. Bron Breakker said, "Isn't he your best friend now?" And then he walks away, and then Paul Heyman was like, "Ooh." I was like, what are we doing here? Then what else happened? Next up, we have Chad Gable. He comes out and he says, "Thank you. I'm just waiting for the root beer," because Chad Gable has that dog in him. And I'm like, where's the root beer? Where's the root beer, man? He says, "Thank you to everybody." Then Penta comes out. He says, "I respect you. I respect you." Oba said he respected. So there was three mentions of respect, not including the commentators. Plus Roman showed respect to Seth. And then Dom and JD, straight off their loss in the Human Money's in the Pool match, they come out talking all big and bad because Penta was like, "You're a luchador" to Chad Gable. Then Dom comes out with his AAA title saying, you're not a luchador, I'm a luchador. And they're like, let's have a match tonight. At first, I thought it was just going to be Chad versus Dirty Dom, but it wasn't. I guess it was a tag match. It was a tag match, and I'm kind of forget. I'm pretty confident Chad Gable and Penta won, but I can't even remember. It was just, it was just inconsequential. It's nice that JD is getting some matches and stuff. I actually liked him on the microphone, but it's also like, they just lost to Danhausen. So, I am happy, though, that Danhausen didn't come out and curse them, because hopefully they get to just move on from that, because I don't think it was helping Dirty Dom at all. But he was getting booed, so that was nice. I'm glad the boos are back. And oh yeah, they did win, because Penta was raising the arm with Chad Gable. I just kept waiting. I was like, ooh, is Penta gonna go? We're gonna get Dark Penta? I want Dark Penta. I want Penta to attack Chad Gable and then win the Intercontinental title. Then he goes and attack Chelsea Green and win the interim women's title. That's a Lucha Libre deep cut right there. If you know, you know. If you don't worry about it. And then we have our main event: Royce Keys versus Jacob Fatu in a street fight. This street fight was probably used more weapons than Oba Femi and Brock in the Hell in the Cell. It was a good match, but the crowd was dead. I think the crowd was just dead at this point, or I don't know. Royce Keys, he put up a fight, and eventually, though, when it's all said and done, there's some good moves here and there, but when it was all said and done, Royce Keys, he loses clean. He loses the prettiest moonsault ever, the tongue and death grip. Then they pulverize him by putting a chair on his head. They can do the Samoan butt bomb into the corner, and he just he's destroyed. He's bleeding. He's everything. Okay, so Jacob Fatu was probably the right guy to win, but I wish there was a moment in the match where Royce said something like he could have won. Maybe there was a glimpse that he was going to win, but then he stops himself because Jacob is his family, his friend, and that little hesitation then allows Jacob to destroy Royce Keys. I think if we would have just added a little bit of hesitation on Royce's part, we could have got everything and protected Royce just a little. As it stands, it was a clean loss. No shame in losing to Jacob. I'm not saying he should have lost. I'm not saying Royce should have won. I'm just saying I wish we would have just done a little bit of storytelling in this match about their relationship. Jacob doesn't care. Jacob will kill Royce, but Royce is still little, that's my blood, or that's my brother. Get what I'm saying? But no, Royce laid out. We have the officials try to stop him. Jacob does the thing where okay, fine, but then nope, gonna do it anyways. And then he kills Royce. Then Roman comes out, and I'm like, okay, now we find out, is Roman a babyface or is Roman a heel? If Roman endorses what Jacob just did to Royce, who is definitely a babyface. Royce is a white meat babyface. If Roman endorses that, then Roman has to be a heel. I view Roman as a heel, but the fans are still kind of making him a babyface, or they're writing him like a babyface here and there. So Roman comes out and he won in the sky to Jacob, and then Jacob does it back. That's an acknowledgement that Roman is proud of what Jacob did. You did a good job. That is a heel. That is a heel. At no point did Royce deserve what he got, especially because a lot of that stuff happened after the pin. You wanna murder him while the bell hasn't rung? Fine. But once the bell rings, it's okay, cool. So the fact that Jacob did all that, and Roman has to be a heel now. He just has to be a heel. The weird part was, after that, we go in the back, and Rey Mysterio's there. He shakes Roman's hand. He's like, I'm the AAA GM, right? And Roman's so funny. He's like, I do now. And he's like, can I talk to you? And then they leave. So I'm like, so when people say, oh, WWE doesn't care about AAA, I say, yeah, they do. They literally ended a segment with Roman Reigns trying to get eyes on the product. So don't tell me we're allowed to job out Dominic Mysterio on Raw because nobody cares, because WWE doesn't care about the AAA title. If they didn't care about it, they wouldn't have the GM of AAA talking to Roman Reigns. Anyways, I don't know what they're going to do. My two suspects, Roman's not appearing on AAA unless Roman's going to do it as a favor to Undertaker, Undertaker is the Triple H of AAA. That's a sentence. But yeah, so unless he's doing a favor to Undertaker, who I'm sure Roman really respects, but it's probably more like this. Either we're going to get Zilla Fatu become part of AAA and, raised, reaching into the family bloodline, and we play it off that way, or the Usos are about to go get the tag team championships from the War Raiders. That way the bloodline looks like they have gold and they're all strong and powerful. Those are the only two things I can think of. I don't know, unless y'all can think of something else. Or maybe Roman puts on a mask and he's the Samoan guy. All right, boys. All right, girls. Those are that's not a hot take. This is your review. See you. Bye.